It's 4:15, so I've got like an hour and a half I could
All right.
do here.
All right. No problem. Going out to supper somewhere or something?
Well, my friend's gonna come over, and he spent the night last night, and he's gonna spend the night again. So
To do math, right?
yeah. No, I got a new game system, so
What'd you get?
the Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo
It's
Switch.
it's basically just the Wii like 2.0.
Okay. All right.
So we've been having fun with that.
Sure. Okay. All right. So, choose the one alternative. The best is. Okay. So solve the triangle. Which angle do you want to solve for first?
Wait a minute. I think might be able to just figure this out by looking at it.
Okay. So, angle C has to be the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then angle A. So CAB has to be your C, then A, then B. That would be choice B would be one of them.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
It's not D.
No.
C, A, B. Nope.
Yeah, it's gotta be a B, right?
Yeah, that's stupid.
No, let's just make sure. Yeah, it's B.
Okay, now, I will say that what I think is smart about what you just did was you analyzed the answers. And I think a lot of kids forget that when they're doing a multiple choice test to make things go faster, they analyze the answers.
Mm-hmm. That's what I always do.
Yeah, well, that is intelligent because I have this feeling like some kids are going to run out of time when they're taking the finite or the pre-calc trig test, and I'm like, it's probably because in their minds they think, oh, okay, I got to use the law of cosines, and I've got to do this squared plus this squared, and
Yeah.
so they go down this road, and then they don't even realize that they could eliminate all that work just by analyzing those answer choices.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so let's see, what do we got? Number 2?
Yep. So scroll down a little bit. Okay, so let's see, 12:45. So the angle has to be what's 180 minus 40? That's 140. So 45 degrees, I think.
Yeah.
So it's either B or A.
Okay.
And then B, that'd be 8.5. And 7.5. That's not right. It's gotta be D.
Oh, just because of the length of the sides?
Yeah.
Okay, B has to be...
Let's see if I'm right. Oh, it's A. Hold up. What?
Okay, so it's either A or D, but since this is a 45 degree angle, it has to be larger than this one.
Okay, that does make sense.
Yeah, that's why A has to be the right one.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, the first thing I would do is I would realize that the focal width is right there, 16. Now, I see that there's 3 of them, but not this choice right here, so we can get rid of that one.
Okay.
We also know that the vertex has to be 3, 6.
Yeah.
Which only leaves this choice right here.
Yep.
Maker of a certain candy claims that the proportions of the colors of candy produced are 0.2. What is the probability that both will be red? 0.2 times 0.2.
Wait, so... Hold on. Wait, so why do you do that again?
Well, it should be independent.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking our answer is sitting right there.
Yeah.
Glance on over and see if it's choice C. Yep. Choice C. Okay.
Oop, let me one.
Okay, write that series using summation notation. Looks arithmetic. Has -5 plus common difference, which is 10 times n minus 1. It's definitely not infinite, so those two choices are not realistic.
Yeah. So it's gotta be B, I guess.
Yeah, they tried to trick us by throwing in the 0 on the bottom. See, for instance, this one would be true if you were starting with 1. But since they threw in the 0 on that,
Which one?
so it would have looked more like -5 plus 10n minus 10. It would have looked like -15 plus 10n instead of -5 plus 10n. But because they went back to n equals 0, that's what reduced that -15 to a -5. So, just a little bit of trickery, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
But it is pretty obvious that this would be changing by -50 between each term, and the other one's changing by 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, find the limit. So you've got -7 on the top and 3 on the bottom?
Yeah. Is that all you do?
Well, I as x approaches -2 of f of x, you get -7. Yeah, that's the
Wow, that's kind of dumb.
that's one of the properties of limits, is that you can divide limits. Oh, now this is stupid fraction decomposition.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay. So I wonder if there's a fast way to do this. Because otherwise we're going to have to take a times 3x minus 1 times x plus 1. And wait a sec. Now if we multiply everything by that, and then b gets multiplied times x plus 1 times x, and c gets multiplied times x times 3x minus 1. So then we would have to rearrange get all the like terms together. I see that I have it's equal to -7, so there's no x squared terms. So let's see here. This looks like a jumbled mess, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there'd be an easy way for us to think through this. I mean, because I can do the algebra, and we can have 3x squared a, and then minus x and a positive 3x would be 2x, and a 2x times a. Yeah, come in. And a negative a. -1 times a. Then we could go to the next one. All I'm doing is I'm foiling this thing at the top and then throwing a on each one of the terms. Here I'm distributing the x, so I'd have plus x squared times b plus x times b. And then on the bottom, when I distribute that, I get 3x squared c. And then a minus 1x times c. So this ends up equaling 0, this ends up equaling 0, this ends up equaling 7, or negative 7, I should say. Now, how do I know that there's 0, 0, and negative 7? Because I look on the other side of the equal sign. Okay.
Yeah, so I see the negative 7, but...
Okay, so this one down here is a constant equation. This one here is a linear equation.
Oh.
Because everything in it has a linear x. And this one up here is a quadratic. Okay. All right, so if that means a has to be 7, right?
Yeah.
So now I can plug that into the top equation, and that would give me 21x squared. So I just have this feeling like there should be an easier way to do this. How about matrices? Can we do it with matrices? I bet we can. I bet we can do a reduced row echelon form matrix here. How about 3? Yeah, those x squareds are all going to be like a non-factor. So it's like 3a plus 1b plus 3c equals 0. And 2, 1, negative 1, 0. And negative 1, 0, 0, negative 7. So we would just go our REF. So I know you know how to do our REF with your calculator, right? You remember that part?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's probably the algebra to get there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know how I came up with these 3 things at the top?
Let me think about that. So I can't really see what's under the
matrix stuff?
Yeah. So it looks like you took this, and then you took this.
What I did,
C and B.
I basically just multiplied by that common denominator, okay? Okay, now when I did that, okay, obviously the first denominator is going to be completely eliminated. But
well, you didn't put the 7 in there, right?
No, because you would the negative 7 would be in the numerator, right? Because when you're multiplying through, the denominator isn't getting changed. It's just the numerator, and that's what's canceling out. So when I take it times this right here, do you notice that the x's would cancel out? But what it would leave me with is these 2 things right here times a.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when I go to the next one, the 3x minus 1 disappears, but that would leave me with x times x plus 1 times b.
Okay.
And then when I do it to the next one after that, the x plus 1's disappear, and that would leave me with x times 3x minus 1 times c. So what I did was I started foiling those things in my head. But you'll notice when I wrote all of the A one out, I wrote the A's all in one column. And then when I wrote the B's out, I wrote them in their own column. And then when I wrote the C's out, I wrote them in their own column. That would help me make my matrix. Those X's don't matter. So that's why you can make your matrix, you got your 3, 1, 3, 0, and your 2, 1, negative 1, 0, and your negative 1, 0, 0, negative 7. And when you hit your reduced row echelon form, why don't you try to make sure you can do it and get the right answer here?
Okay.
If I had to guess, that question right there would probably burn up more time than any other question on the test.
Well, honestly, that's the kind of question I would probably just come back to at the end, and
That's
then
exactly what I was going to suggest.
and then if I didn't have time, I'd just guess on it. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, you know.
My calculator is like dead.
Oh, okay. Well, one of the things you should know is that A has to be positive 7. And that's just coming from the very last, this very last equation right here. So you could at least get it down to choice A or B.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you could just, plug and chug. You could, if you had to guess, at least you could get it down to those two.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try to get a calculator on my phone.
Okay.
Because you can just like Google scientific calculator or something, or graphing calculator, right?
Yeah, you can. You can do a graphing calculator and.
Oh, I could use Desmos, I guess.
You might be able to do that. I'm wondering if it would set up a matrix for you.
No, this one you have to buy it. I don't want to.
Here, let me see if I can pull one up on my. That would be kind of useful. Okay, down to 8. Find the center, vertices, and foci of the ellipse with a given equation. Okay. Well, don't waste your time finding the center. It's pretty obvious. Plus, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Really, if we can narrow it down to what the vertices are, you can tell from all the choices that would answer the question. So if we divide everything by 12 in this case, that would be x squared over 6 plus y squared over 2 equals 1. Obviously, the horizontal is going to be bigger than the vertical.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do you do with this number?
What do you do with it? Isn't that... Hold on. Don't tell me yet.
Okay.
It's been a long time, but I think that this distance is either 6 or 3.
Okay. Well, close. It's the square root of 6. To get out to the outside edge.
Well, I was going to say 36, but then that seemed too big, so...
Yes, so that's why. Now, I'm a little bit confused by the answer choices. Because look at the vertices. Now, this is the one that looks close.
Yeah.
But they're both negative.
Oh, that's important.
That is the right answer, but out of the options that we have here, I'm not sure why they both look negative. But go over to the answer sheet. I bet you it's 8 is answer B. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, expand the binomial. So, 5th row of Pascal's, oops, sorry, not enough. Got to get one more term in there. Now, do you remember how to get that on your calculator if you don't remember the fifth row?
Yeah, you're right. 1 through 15, and then you put the choose and then the L1 and all that.
Yep, the combinations. Nice. Okay, so we have x to the fifth, x to the fourth, x to the third, x to the second, x to the first, x to the 0, negative.
Whoa, you squared that twice.
Squared what twice?
Right here.
Oh.
There was already a 2 there.
Yeah, nice. Negative y. Make sure you use parentheses because that negative is important.
Yep, I messed that up many times.
All right, good. I'm glad you messed it up then and not now. Have you? Did you do all your retakes that you had for the semester?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Did they improve your grade?
By like 1%.
Okay. All right, now, which answer choice is correct?
No, I did want to ask you, so he's going to drop my lowest quiz grade.
Yeah.
And my lowest quiz grade was like super mega bad. It was like 36% or something.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do my math probability skills and all that to like calculate my final grade, but I don't think I was doing it right.
Okay.
So if we get pretty far into this, I want to see if we can figure that out.
Sure. Okay, so which answer choice is it?
Let's see. 1. I think it has to be this one because negative.
Yeah.
Y, and then these are positive.
Yep.
Yep.
You could look at the first two terms also. So the last term gives it away, and then the first two terms give it away as well. Because this has to alternate in sign, positive, negative, positive, negative.
Yeah.
And so it does have to be choice C.
Wait a minute. So 9, and then...
Oh, there we go. Solve the system algebraically. You know,
I have no idea.
Well, I was trying to see if there was a way, like for instance, I could take the bottom equation, set it equal to x, x equals 3 minus 2y, and then I could plug it into the top equation. 3 minus 2y quantity squared plus y squared equals 4. Be 9 minus 12y plus 4y squared plus 1y squared equals 4. Obviously, that would be 5y squared minus 12y. And then if I brought the 4 over to the other side, that would be plus 5 equals 0. Then I would probably just use the quadratic formula on it. Do you have quad form on your calculator?
I believe so. I can't use my calculator.
No, I know, but I'm just asking if you have it.
Well, I picked it up and I was going to look, and then I realized it was dead.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, obviously we can go through that,
Well, I could probably figure it out. I'm pretty sure I have it, though.
Okay. Just get your quad form on, and then you could go through and check with the answers.
So that's under program, right?
Yep. Should be under program, quad form.
Yeah, and then you just enter in all the things.
Yep, the A, the B, and the C. Otherwise, you're going back to old school. times 4 times A times C. Yeah, all over 2 times A. So 144 will take away 100 is square root 44. So 12 plus or minus the square root of 44 over 10, which is 12 plus or minus 2 radical 11 over 10, which is 6 plus or minus radical 11 over 5. So it definitely gets rid of choices A and C, and so now you would have to take those values and plug them in for X, like 6 plus radical 11 over 5 for Y. X equals 3 minus 2 times 6 plus radical 11 over 5. What would that be? 15 over 5 minus 12 plus radical 11 all over 5. 15 minus 12 would be 3 plus radical 11. Or did I do that wrong? Oh, no. Did I miss something? Oh, that is a 2. That is a 2, because I would have to distribute that. Okay, alright, that's why. So that'd be minus 2 radical 11. So it has to be... So when I plugged in 6 plus, I got this one right here.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be a minus 2 in front of that. So let's clear that out. And that was answer choice D.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be much easier to hit quad form on my calculator and start looking at decimals. What I was trying to think in my mind originally is, could I do something like this? And then do RREF. Now.
Right now.
Alright. Well, that's a bummer that I did that.
How long have we been doing it?
We started at 4:15 and it's 5 o'clock, so we've been on about 45 minutes, but I've got about 28 minutes recorded, so so I mean, there were a couple problems that we skipped in there, like 12 and 13, because you don't have to do them.
Yeah.
So I didn't miss too much, but more than I wanted to. So we're on 20.
Yes, so I think there are 60 on this thing.
Okay. Just back up a second to question, like, let's see what question 11 was, and I'll see if I can just quickly.
Wait, 9. Oh, this is confusing.
Yeah, there you go, down. Okay, so this was the quadratic formula one. Number, oh no, 11 was the dot product one, where you just took the dot product of those two things, and it ended up being that. So just 47 times 30 plus 30. Oh no, not 30. 13. I can't talk. Times -8. This one we didn't do. This one we didn't do. Scroll down to 14. Oh, and those were real easy ones where they were we were in quadrant 2 and you had to find that, and it was 5 here and 5 here. So this was 5 radical 2, and the angle was 3 pi over 4. When we talked about why it was that, and that one down there. And 16 was just your dot product. So that's just a repeat of what you did in a previous question. I remember the answer was 31. The B down there. Scroll up to 617. Oh,
To what?
I will go through that proof, afterwards, because I do want you to have that proof on number 17. And then, so I'll go back and do 17 for sure. And what else do I need to make sure? 17, and then 18 was pretty straightforward. You're just going to type that one in.
Yeah,
19, that's pretty
that's
straightforward.
easy. Yeah.
And 20 was the one where we figured out that it was down here. Because of the squared one having to have a linear and a quadratic denominator. And since you got 2 squared terms, you'd have to have 4 denominators. Okay, so I'll go back and do 17 when we're all done with this. Or for today anyway. 21. The line through the points 5, -5, and 7, 5. All right. Tell me what you would do. Any ideas, or do you want me to do it?
Let me think about it. Well, honestly, assuming I had my grapher, I would just attempt to plot those and draw a line and then see what I could do from there.
See, I would do this. I would find the slope. Put my t in. And then I would say y minus, let's see, which coordinate do they use? It looks like they are using this one right here in all their answer choices. So, or at least 3 out of their 4 answer choices. So, y plus 5 and x minus 5. So, looks like I have y equals 10t minus 5 and x equals 2t plus 5. 10t minus 5 and 2t plus 5. It looks like answer choice B.
Okay.
So I found my slope, 10 over 2. And I've noticed every time I've seen them that they don't reduce them.
Yeah.
Then you throw in your t over t, and then you pick a coordinate. It doesn't matter which one, but based on their answer choices, they used the 5, -5. And you put your x and your y in the equation. So it's... And then this part is one equation, and this part is your other equation.
All right.
They didn't even make you find the parameter for t.
Yeah. I remember that was an extra credit question on one of the quizzes.
Find the parameter?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I made my students do that. I didn't give them extra credit. Okay. Find the probability of the event. 2 6-sided dice are rolled.
What fun.
What is the sum? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I drew like 9 of those boxes on my last quiz.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I did pretty good on that one.
Good. What is probably the sum of the numbers on the dice? Will be 6. Well, though there's 5, 1. 4, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, and 1, 5. So there's 5 out of 36. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. 23. Determine whether the matrices are inverses of each other. You just multiply them together. What are you looking for?
I remember this, but then I kind of forgot.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Don't you flip these and then see if these are...
You could.
Negatives.
Or you could multiply them together and see if you get 1, 0, 0, 1, the identity matrix.
Okay, yeah. Actually, I think you do, because 3 and 3 and... Well, maybe not.
So 10
5
minus 9 and 15, or negative 15 plus 15.
Yeah, you get 1 and 0 there.
Yep, and then 6 and negative 6. And
Yeah.
wait a second. When I do the second row and the second, yeah, negative 9 plus 10. Okay, yeah, we do get 1001, so it's a yes. Now, if you want to use your calculator, if you got your graphing calculator, you could just you can do it one of two ways. You could call this matrix A, and then you could just type in A inverse and see if you get this matrix. Or you can type in A and B and multiply them together and see what you get.
Yeah.
So a couple different ways to do it. 24. Write the expression as a sine, cosine, or tangent of an angle. Okay? So since it's cosine, cosine, sine, sine, I know it's cosine. The question is, what are we going to do with the 115 and the 50? Since this is a plus, I know it's going to be subtraction, so it's going to be 115 minus 50. So cosine 65 is my answer.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're just going to type on your calculator until you find the decimal that matches.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Cheater. All right. I guess if they're going to give you the calculator instead of taking it away, like most people. Okay. When's your final, by the way?
I think it's Wednesday.
What period?
A 6th.
Yeah, you're right. It's Wednesday. Okay, the following data show the number of laps run by each participant in a marathon. Okay, so you just had to come up with a stem plot?
Yeah, that's super easy. Don't even bother with that.
Okay. True. I will agree with you.
Well, actually, I do have one quick question about it.
Okay.
If there's a repeating number, if you have like 46 twice, you only put 1 6, right?
No, you put both of them.
Oh, you put both of them? Okay.
Right.
So this one's automatically out because it was 3 3.
Well, but I can't see the data, so I don't know. So I see a 43
and a 43.
So yes, that's still in.
So that's automatically out?
No, I can't say why. Why would that be out? There's two 43s, and this says there's two 43s.
Okay. That was my only question.
Okay. Yeah, just look for the ones that are different. Like I don't see. Oh yeah, this one does only 143, so that's definitely out. So.
Oh wait.
26. In how many ways can the letters in the word payment be arranged if the letters are taken 5 at a time? All right, what are we going to do?
Let me think about that. So, taking 5 at a time. So how many letters are in there? 7?
7.
And no repeating letters, so...
That's important. I do. So there's nothing to divide by but 1, so...
Yep, so it's the C, I believe.
Are you saying choice C or combinations?
Combinations.
Okay. Well, when it says arranged, I'm thinking it's permutations.
Well, there aren't any repeating letters, so I kind of thought...
Well, repeating letters would cause a denominator. In other words, it would cut the number of results. So jump over to your answer sheet, but I think 26 would be 7p5. If I'm wrong...
A?
Yep, 7p5.
Okay.
Yep. Since it's being arranged, the order does matter.
I still hate those questions.
Well, I know you have to really think about them, but when they gave me that word arranged, that kind of led me to know what they were getting at.
Yeah.
Find the matrix product if possible. So we have a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 2. Is that possible?
Yes.
Okay, good. If so, what is the product? What are the dimensions of the answer going to be?
3 by 3, I think.
Nope, the outside.
Oh, it's 2 by 2 then.
2 by 2. So that means this choice and this choice are out. So there's really only two choices to worry about. And since the first digit in the upper left corner is -6 on one and -9 on the other, that would answer my question. So first row times first column, 3 plus -9 plus 0. What do you got?
-6.
So that means choice A.
Yeah.
So it would save us time from having to type all that in my calculator and hit A times B.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, choice A.
Do you want to?
Oh yeah, we can
Do you
stop.
want to pick this up tomorrow and?
Yeah, that's fine. What time are you thinking?
Uh.
Okay, so that I think question 17 was. Why isn't it doing what I wanted it to? Oh, that's why. Question 17 was cosine x. No, it's 2 cosine x plus sine 2x equals 0. And so what we did was we substituted this from the formula sheet with 2 sine x cosine x. And then, of course, we've got 2 cosine x there. Then we looked for what's in common, and we saw 2 cosine x, and we could pull it out. So we have 2 cosine x times 1 plus sine x equals 0. And then we set our factors equal to 0. So 2 cosine x equals 0, and 1 plus sine x equals 0. And so that gave us cosine x equals 0 and sine x equals -1. And then if we go to our circle and think about where in the world is the x value equal to 0, well, the x value equal to 0 we decided was at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. So those are two of our answers. And then where is the y value equal to -1? The y value equal to -1 is at the bottom, but we already have that answer. So pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2 were the only answers for question 17 on that review sheet. Sorry for skipping that part of the video. Don't know why I did that.